Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 7 of the Formula 2 World Championship. With me, C-Waddy, here in F1 2020. We're at the British Grand Prix, we're at Silverstone, and again, I am really looking forward to this race. Because again, it's a track I love a lot. So I'm hoping we can get a good result again. Keep marching on. We're nearly coming to the end of the season actually, because it's obviously only a 10 race championship in F2. So I'm kind of hoping we're going to get good result. Right, practice. First thing I'm going to do, car setup. I'm going to go for an increased top speed. Put the front aero up a little bit higher than I normally do. That's all looking pretty good. That looks like it's fine to me. Right, we're going to go out. We're going to do tyre management first.
Okay, we haven't yet run any of our standard programs over the course of practice. It'll be a boost to car development if we can log that data, so we should do our best to do so before the end of the session.
Okay, Jeff. So I figure by doing the tyre program first, it gives me a chance to learn the track a little bit. It also gives me a chance to check the car setups okay before committing to some of the longer programs, like the track acclimatisation or the race strategy program. I'll be honest, because there's no actual real reward for doing the practice programs in the Formula 2 career, you don't get to spend the points or anything like that. I'm thinking to myself that it's really not worth running track acclimatisation. I'm probably just going to do the race strategy and the qualifying sim to get an impression of where I am, as well as the tyre program. I'm certainly not going to be running fuel management anymore because of the issues I've had in the last couple of races where the team has under-fueled me for the race. And I don't really see the need to do track acclimatisation because I know these tracks. I know Silverstone. Obviously we've got Hungary coming up next. That's another track I know from having done in the my team part of my career. So we'll see how things go. And obviously after Hungary we've got Spa, which is obviously another circuit I'm pretty good at or have experience of. So track acclimatisation isn't really important in F2. It's more important to run those programs once you make it into Formula 1, because obviously you need to upgrade your car and develop your car, which is an aspect not open to Formula 2. Now I'm all over the road here, I'm struggling on this first lap of the tyre program. In fact, I've got quite a lot of tyre wear. We've got red tyre wear, which means I've done a very bad job of managing these tyres on this flying lap. So I'm going to potentially run a second lap here to see if I can hit that purple sector. Obviously I'm just scrubbing my tyres across the surface a little bit too much. Right, let's go for a purple lap this time then. Oh, I'm punishing the tyres there. Absolutely punishing them through that corner. Lateral load, you see, a lot of load on the car as you go through them high-speed curves. A lot of sideways load, which is not great for the tyres. But I reckon I can get it back. I reckon we can get it back to I'm scrubbing it again there because I'm understeering. I'm doing the tyres a lot of damage. A lot more tyre wear when you understeer. Because you just start melting the surface of the tyre. Nearly got it into the purple. We have got it into the purple. Done 88.1 miles an hour in the speed trap. That'll do me. Take that.
Program complete and a job well done. We got some
There you go,
excellent
program
data with that
complete.
run, so come on back
So I'll
to the
carry on with the
garage
rest
and
of the
I can talk you
programs,
through the
and
numbers.
then we'll jump forward to qualifying. Right then, qualifying for round 7 of the Formula 2 Championship. I've got a pretty good setup on the car, however I might just tweak it a little bit. I don't know what else I can actually do, but I'm going to have a bit of a fiddle. Because one of the things I did notice from the practice programs was that the tyre wear is quite uneven on the car. The left tyres get worn out so much faster than the right ones. So I want to see if I can balance that out with my setup a little bit. That means probably changing tyre pressures. Not sure if I'm doing it right. I've made them softer. I don't know if that's the right strategy. Not too sure on that one. If anybody does know in the chat about the tyre pressures and which way you should move them to eliminate wear, please let me know in the comment section down below. But anyway, we're going to go out, we're going to do our flying lap on the softs. Try and get a good pole time. First time running on the softs in this car on this track. Because all the practice programs were done on hard tyres. We only had hard tyres available for free practice. First time using anything soft. And it's obviously quite a bit soft. Soft is obviously 2 compounds different from the hard. Means these tyres might actually fall apart very fast on this track. Especially with the loads in some of these high-speed corners. Also the temperature is something to be concerned about. Because again, I noticed the left tyres seem to be a lot hotter than the right ones. So not only are they wearing more, they're also running at a hotter temperature. That was a bit bad. That was well wide there. Looking like it being a good lap.
You've just put in the fastest lap. Good job.
Good job, Jeff. Am I going for a second flying lap? A little bit up on the first lap time. I'm a little bit down again. coming back. We're back in the green. Still in the green. Gaining a bit of time there. We might be able to improve our qualifying time just by a little bit on this second lap, this second flying lap. Quite happy that I've had clear track for both runs. Very important. There we go. That should be good enough for pole position, I would think.
That was the
I
fastest
doubt
lap.
anybody else can go faster than that on single lap pace, but we'll see. So time for the feature race, and we are starting on pole.
And hello to everyone joining us here in Silverstone this weekend as the drivers make their final preparations for today's race. The grid is forming up and we're getting ready for what promises to be a real spectacle. 5 miles out from Toaster, this icon of British motorsport heritage comprises 18 corners over 3.6 miles of circuit. Silverstone has been through several changes over its lifetime, with the start line now leading into Abbey, a fast right-hander for turn 1. But still there, of course, is the circuit's most famous and iconic sequence of corners, starting at Maggots, turn 10. Joining me today in the commentary box is former 2012 GP2 champion Davide Valsecchi. We all know the circuit so well, Davide. What's got your attention today?
Always a pleasure, Alex. Everyone looks forward to Silverstone, and with such an intriguing grid, I think the fans will be excited for the start of today's race. We know these young drivers are hungry to prove themselves. Hopefully, we'll be seeing some more history being made today.
Let's take a look at the grid positions for today's race. Schumacher lines up on pole position, and it's Nikita Mazepin alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Schumacher, Hubert, Jack Aitken, and Aylott, Latifi, Tete Camara, Correa, Guan Yu Zhou, Boccolacci, Beauchamp, Nobuharu Matsushita, and King, Giotto, Alesi, Galeo, and Louis Delatraz. Calderon and Mahavir Ranganathan starts from the back of the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
This is our engine supplier's home Grand Prix. Let's give them a race worth watching.
Okay, Jeff, we'll try that. Wonder if I can give myself a little bit more front aero. That's probably going to be a mistake, but we'll run with it. So lights are on, lights are out, and away we go. Got a good start. I've been really nailing the starts the last couple of races. Getting away a little bit better. However, I do have a problem in the sprint races with my starts. And that's because I get very scared going into the corners. I tend to brake far too early. But at the moment, clear track in front of me. Just need to get my head down, start busting away a few laps, start improving my lap times. Bit wide there. Ooh, struggling on the soft tyres. My
Great
teammate
first lap. Keep it
is
up.
behind me, which is really interesting. Oh, lost it. Oh. My teammate got past me. We'll overtake Mick here though. And then Antoine Herbert's going to get shunted out of the race there by the guy behind him. Okay, and this is a replay of how our title rival, Antoine Herbert, ended up out of the race. He got his front suspension broke. Boom! Just breaks his front suspension, so taking out my title rival was a nice move. But now we've got to get after our friend here. This is one of our first rivals about to exit the race with some engine trouble. Boom, there it goes. Yeah, you ain't finishing the race, son. I'm not sure if he's going to wave me through or not. He probably ought to at this stage of the championship because he's not in it. I'm just kind of lifting a bit here because I don't want to run into the back of him. And we take him into that corner. Race lead reclaimed on lap 2. I'm not very happy on these soft tyres, I must admit. I'm not a big fan of the soft tyres. I don't know whether they're just overheating too much with the way I drive, because the wear is already getting quite ridiculous. And we've only done like 3 laps. But when I make my pit stop and strap on the hard tyres, I'm a much happier camper. And I start driving some much better laps. I'm a little bit all over the shop here on this first stint. I have a lot of difficulty sticking to the racing line, especially in some of the corners. I tend to run a bit wide. And get a bit of understeer. But I'm definitely looking towards having the hard strapped on. I certainly think whatever I did to my tyre pressures in qualifying didn't help me. That kind of backfired a little bit because it made the car a little bit more of a handful. And I don't think it helped with the wear the way I wanted it to. I think it had the opposite effect. It caused an even bigger wear imbalance between the left tyres and the right tyres. If anything, I probably should have softened the left tyres and increased the pressures on the right to balance it out a bit. But I've yet to really work that out, the tyre pressure thing. Anybody knows which way you should do it? Let me know in the comment section down below. So for example, if I'm on a racetrack where my left tyres are wearing at a higher rate than my right, what way should I adjust the pressures? That's the question to you guys out there. Somebody leave a comment below with the answer. I'm not pulling out a massive gap though to the guys behind me. I'm not. My teammate's still there. Nice shot from the helicopter. This lovely camera from above the left rear wheel. Nice car. And we're coming in for our pit stop. I come in so hot. Took out the sign. That's not my car, by the way, making that sound. That's some kid on a motorbike outside my house. Don't think my car just suddenly changed engines. You could have been a bit quicker on the pit stop, lads. That was 6 seconds. That's not good enough. Come on. 3-second stops. That's what we want. Comfortably back out in the race lead after the pit stop. On the lovely white walled hard tyres. I'm going to be a happier camper on these, I think. These just feel like the tyres that we want to be on. Probably going to be more planted through here now, actually. Apart from that last corner. There we go. Get in there slowly. Got a little bit out of shape there. on that previous section. Pushing a little bit too hard, I think. Trying to set purple sectors and fastest laps. Struggling a little bit through that section. I'm used to doing it in an F1 car, you see, which obviously has a lot more grip, a lot more downforce through there. And through here, back on the pedal. Start a lap 11, 4 laps to go in this feature race. Quite a short race round Silverstone, only 15 laps, but what's a bit concerning is the fact that my front left tyre is about 10 degrees warmer than my front right on this circuit. No wonder I get more wear on the front left. Looking at the dashboard there on the steering wheel. Even the rears are 10 degrees cooler than the front tyres. I'm really punishing the tyres on this circuit, especially the fronts. Probably one of the better times I took that series of corners. .140.2 as a lap time there. As we start what is the final lap. not a bad performance in this race. Kind of waltzed it a little bit. The sprint race is going to be the challenge because obviously starting 8th, I'm in the rumble zone sort of thing. Oh, it's not the final lap, it's only lap 14. Lap 13 and lap 15 look very similar on the dashboard there. But yeah, sprint race tends to be harder because obviously starting in the middle of the pack, having won this race, you kind of get put in the prime position to be rammed at the first corner by the overzealous AI drivers. That's what cost me in Austria, losing that front wing element. It's about the only way they can beat me is to ram me and hit me and damage my car. Unless, of course, we race at Monaco, which is my worst track ever. Right, now we are definitely on the last lap. And we come to the line to take victory in the Formula 2 feature race.
Fantastic. You've won the Grand Prix.
Good result, that. Good result. Despite that little wobble on the first lap, it was all pretty much plain sailing after that.
So another fantastic victory for ART today. And I have to wonder, Davide Valsecchi, just what set them apart from the competition here.
The difference was in the strategy. Credit to the driver for sure, but races like this really drive home how much of a team sport this is. They did a lot of work on the pit wall to really make the most of each stint and to make the best use of these tires. But that said, all of that would have been for nothing without a talented hand on the wheel.
An amazing race today, and a very well-deserved one too. The team worked very hard to get exactly the right setup out of the F2 car that works for them, and the results speak for themselves. ARTGP winners today. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Schumacher increases their championship lead. And so, driver of the day then, Davide Valsecchi, Who do you think you'd go for?
I go for Wanzhou. The Uni-Virtuosi driver today just surprised me. He was so aggressive. He deserved the victory.
On to the teams then. ART have extended their lead over the championship. Another team that excelled today was Dams, who make further progress up the table. Goodbye for now then, but we really are just getting started. Make sure you join us again for Lights Out tomorrow. And we're back. After yesterday's feature race, the top 8 drivers have been reversed on the grid, setting up some exciting action as we launch into today's event, the sprint race. As we await the start of another hugely anticipated Formula 2 race, I'm joined again by Davide Valsecchi. Davide, as a former GP2 champion, can we get some insight to what is running through these young drivers' heads as they sit out on the grid?
Ciao, Alex. It's a pleasure to be here. There are nervy moments, there is no doubts about that. Mental strength is the key to remaining calm and focusing on the upcoming race. Formula 2 is so competitive, and all of these drivers knows that they are going to be pushing each other all of the way. In this sport, you have to be able to control your nerves.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Okay, Jeff. Let's have a look then. Race strategy. You want us to start on the softs. And you want us to pit. Okay. Going to be cooler today because of the lower air temp. Okay, the lights are going on. We're about to get the race start underway. Got a good start. Oh, I'm far too cautious through there and everybody's coming past me, look. Far too cautious on the brakes. Oh, I got bumped. Someone hit me. Oh, I'm all over the grass. This guy behind me is giving me a push. He's pushing me. Here he comes. Still there on the inside. One of the Primas. No, it's not. It's one of the Scuderia Rio. Oh. Bit of a ding-dong battle there. I'm trying to attack the guys in front whilst at the same time trying to defend it. Oh. That is not good. Oh, somebody hit me. Let's just rewind that and see where it all went peaked on. Okay, I'm accelerating. This guy's kind of in the way a bit. Jeez, I just got dirty air. And I'm all over. I'm out of position. Oh, got on the grass, lost control of the car. Oh, and then the Prima hit me. Prima Motorsport team guy hit me. I'm just lucky not to have got damage there. But we're on the way forward. And right now we're in P14, which is not great. And again, I'm all over the track. Not not liking these soft tyres at all. Hate them. So slow through there. It put me off. Now we open up. Too far back to have a lunge. Might be able to have a bit of a dive down here. There's my teammate. Don't hit him. Don't hit your teammate. Oh, that guy got back past me. These guys are all on the hard tyres. That's not... I should be smoking these normally with the difference in compounds. But honestly, the hard tyre is the tyre to be on. They're going to be on the crap tyre at the end of the race, obviously. Yeah, I was too far away to be able to make a late brake lunge into that corner. I also pulled out from behind the guy early because I noticed my engine temps were starting to creep up following in traffic. Trouble is, everybody's got DRS down here, so again, I'm not going to be able to make as much progress as I want to. Certainly not going to be able to late brake him. Whoa! I attacked the pit lane that fast, almost crashed into the car ahead of me. Come on guys, you've got to be quicker. You're taking too long. 6 seconds again on the pit stop. What are you doing to me? Come on. 4 tyres, it's not difficult. And we've got Raghunathan there around the inside of us. Not somebody I particularly want to be racing with because he's a bit of a flipping disaster. But that's the problem. When you make the pit stop and come out in traffic. Come on, we need to get past this guy. Down into this corner would be nice. I mean, obviously we're going to leapfrog some of the other cars when they make their pit stop, because we're currently in P17. P15 now, because I've passed somebody in the pits. There's a car coming out of the pits. Not bad. That puts me up into, yes, P15. Got a good run at him here. And we got the overtake. P12. Any guys in the pits will gain a few positions there as well. Guy coming out of the pits, but he's not going to bother us. That's P11. Definitely not catching everybody as quickly this time. P10, so somebody's in the pit lane. P9. That's two more cars in the pits. We're nearly back up to where we started the race. Carlin in front of us. Come on. Got to overtake him. I can't really see anybody else in front of him. That's the worrying thing. I can't see where the rest of the field is. Matsushita. We've got the DRS. Might have been a little bit of a bang there. Wheel to wheel. But I have managed to get that overtake done. So P8 on lap 8. So right now we're back where we started. But I'm not seeing anybody else. I'm not seeing any other potential victims here. They are quite a long way ahead of me, the leaders. How have they got so far ahead? Excuse me. Oh, someone's had a bit of a bang there. Bits of carbon fibre all over the road. One thing that I haven't seen a lot of in this career mode, I haven't seen a lot of safety cars. And I haven't seen a lot of virtual safety cars either. I've seen the occasional yellow flag, but when cars break down, I haven't seen a lot of safety cars called out. I could definitely do with a safety car now though to catch the guys in front of me. How have they got so far ahead? They're like 15 seconds ahead of me. How is that possible? Why don't the stewards clear the track? Throw a safety car and clear the track. That debris is everywhere. guess the marshals are just not going to bother clearing the track. They don't care about driver safety, obviously. Well, coming up to the end of the lap, and obviously the end of the race. It's not a great result. P8. We started there. We did go backwards a bit after the start.
Take care of the car on the way in.
Got beat up a little bit in a couple of instances. But I must admit, I am a little bit baffled as to how the guys in front of me are so far ahead. Because I don't think I was particularly slow on track after that first lap or two. And certainly after my pit stop and I was on the hards, I was on an absolute charge.
Spent a great deal of time talking about race and tire strategy, what has occurred on the track, but at the end of the day, the difference here was down to simply being faster on track than everyone else. Amazing.
I don't know about that, Davide. I think some shenanigans have gone on there.
Now, and what a result this is, and a popular one with the crowd as well. Great stuff to see the Charouse team on top here today.
Because I can't for a minute believe that those three guys there are like, 15 seconds faster than me over a race of 11 laps, because it was even shorter, the sprint race, than the feature race, so they had even less laps. I'm not buying it.
After this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Schumacher increases their championship lead. And now, Davide Valsecchi, let me ask you, who is your driver of the day?
Probably Jade Aitken, strong pace, good work with the strategy, just a very complete drive, I think. Antoine Hubert, the ardent driver, just surprised me today. It was impressive.
On to the teams then. ART have extended their lead over the championship. It was also a strong race from Trident this weekend. Fantastic work from the Italian team to move themselves further up the table.
My choice is not the same as the fans' choice this time. And both drivers were brilliant today. But the driver I choose today, just about has the edge, I think.
There will be plenty more twists and turns to come this season. I hope you'll join us at the next race when Formula 2 returns.
What's weird there is the guys that started like last, pretty much, finished the highest up the table. They didn't pit. They didn't pit, that is why. They just did a one stop on the hard tyres. I wonder if I should have done that. I wonder if the team messed me up there. They should have put me on a one-stop strategy. Had me go all the way on the hards, not pitted. Because without that pit stop, I probably would have been a lot higher up the grid, wouldn't I? Anyway, we move on. Round 7 is complete. We move on to round 8 in the championship. Season's coming to an end very quickly. We'll soon be in F1, boys and girls, I think. I think the teams will be banging down my door looking to sign me at the end of the season. So be sure to join me for the next race.